Why, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku's Showboat. Today is Tuesday, January 17th, 2023. Ollie has brought me his baby, his insect, his bug, and he is actually playing fetch with it. You need to go get it. I tossed it. Ba-ba. Ba-ba. Yeah, bite and claw. He's like biting and clawing. Oh boy. So, with a perky baby next to me, wanting to play. How was the weekend? What happened? What's going on? Hi, hello. Well, I've done a few things in Factorio that we will get to. As for not Factorio, that we will start the day with, well, first off, I finished reading the Lost Metal, which, yeah, it's a good end to the thingy. Hello, not Melon. Yes, we are going to work on getting into the ARQADS today. That it's gonna pretty much be the whole stream, I think. Getting into them, getting them set up. Oh yeah, he's brought the baby back. Go get it. Off he runs. Finished reading that, and now I'm reading Warbreaker, also from Brandon Sanderson. And yeah, I can't help but notice that basically every single book in the Cosmere, every like big storyline in the Cosmere from Brandon Sanderson, he just has this real penchant for always including at least one character that suffers from a crisis of faith. Like, it's as if he has to always have at least one character in every single one of these books of Cosmere stories, or at least in every storyline that has a crisis of faith. It's like, it's very repetitive. It's a little bit annoying at this point. And there's one particular character in here, that I don't like this character in this one. So it's like, I like the other characters that the storyline is following, but there's the one that I just don't like at all. Anyway, so that is a thing. So that is a thing. So yeah, that's Brandon Sanderson, who does like the Mistborn series. He has the Stormlight Archive series. Did Elantris as the first book, and has Warbreaker here, that are all part of the Cosmere like universe of stories that have similar elements in everything across them. They all take place in like the same overarching universe. And then he has other books that are not part of the universe, and I haven't really gotten into any of those. But yeah, it's just every single part of the Cosmere storylines always has at least one character that goes through a crisis of faith. It's like, huh? It's like it's fine a few times, but why do all of them need to have one? Like, come on. Do you know how to write different characters than that? Like, why do you always need this one? So that's a thing that I've been reading and going through lately. Also today for Genshin Impact is Ollie. He keeps bringing this toy. and he keeps chasing after it. Today in Genshin Impact is patch day, so I won't be able to play it this afternoon, which is, always fantastic. Meaning I'll have more time to play Factorio today. But tomorrow, going into tomorrow, as we have the thing again, you know what? Let's just go here and like turn that on. There's Ollie. Yeah, there's the Ollie. He's very playful today. He's very playful today. Yeah, starting tomorrow with Genshin Impact, there'll be a lot more content to chew through because it's the new patch 3.4, and they actually told us like what all of the banners are for wishes for the whole patch, which is definitely not the usual, but it's Chinese New Year over the course of this patch, and we have like our events for Chinese New Year, and they want all of the money that ever happens that gets given as gifts during Chinese New Year, because it's a Chinese company that makes Genshin Impact, and so they reveal the banners that are for the full patch so that people can spend all of their New Year's money on Genshin Impact. So all that being said, let's get into the game and the things that I have done to the game. So you're here for this, not Melon. I made a modification. I made a modification to PyAE Life. Actually, technically, 3 modifications to PyAE Life. When we last met, I set up Ulrich. Somewhere. I set up Ulrich. And I had a conversation about the Ulrich. About how incredibly dumb it is to have to spend 2 Ulrich to get a net of 1 out of that system. So you have to build for 3 just to get 1. Because during the breeding process, both parents always die. The two parents, or the 2 adults that you throw into the recipe, they don't come back by default. And so I changed that. I have set it so that Ulrich will always return the 2 adults on all of the Ulrich breeding recipes. So now, instead of this build producing 1 net Ulrich out, it produces 3 net Ulrich out. And Ollie has returned. Without the baby? Alright, well, you don't have your baby, you're all energetic running around, flicking that tail. I did this to Ulrich, I did this to Corlax, and I did this to Cotton Gut. Because they are the 3 more immediate things that this has been done to, or that this would be relevant for. Yeah, so I've also off-screen set up Cotton Guts, an amount of Cotton Guts. It's not a full build because I have to actually make more studs for it. But yeah, I have set it up that it returns the parent Cotton Guts here. Now, I want to say that while it is my preference that these always return the parents, the issue, the thing that I anticipate is that the compromise will be that there will be a percentage chance to lose an adult. As in, always return 1 percent chance to lose 1, which is exactly how it's done with Kamouts. Now, I'll have to bring up all of the Ulrich cubs, because the way that it was designed on the subsequent recipes was that with Ulrich it was 2 in, 3 out, and then it went 3 to 6, and then 4 to 9, and then 5 to 12. So the ratio does improve over time, but it's not ever going... You cannot convince me that it is a good idea to ever have it be a 2 to 3 ratio to get a net 1 out here. Like, it's not well designed. It's way, way too expensive to make an Ulrich. Like, by default, it's simply too expensive. Particularly on Relesia, this system, to make 3 Ulrich is, like, which would be, under normal circumstances, a net 1 out. No, I do not use Bob's adjustable inserters. To be a net 1 out, by default, you're using nearly 12 Relesia. You're using 5.5 Augie. Like, excuse me, but no, that is not acceptable. Even on it being a basic recipe, that is not acceptable. Like, I can get, compared to Augs, I can get 5 Augs for like 33 native flora and 17 moss. I could get 5 of a thing at a comparable price to this. Like, have you seen the scale to get even a belt of Relesia? That's not going to happen just to get 1 net Ulrich. No. No. And it doesn't make any logical sense that these do not return any adults. It fails the logic test too, because these are very highly complex creatures that are raising the kids. They do not die. They are not supposed to die when they have the cubs. And so I made a list I posted on Discord of all of the creatures that do not return adults that likely should be returning adults. In fact, I made a full list of like all of the creatures that have either eggs, cocoons, cubs, etc., pups, larvae, whatever. The ones that do not die at all currently, without making any modifications, are Augs, Mukmo, Zipho, Kamouts, which have a 99.9% chance to return. I believe it's the second adult. So there's a 0.1% chance you lose an adult on Kamouts. Simics will return between 1 and 4 of the adults, of which the recipe requires 4 adults. So the Simics, those have at least some semblance of balance to them. It simulates that there is loss of adults, but you're not losing all of them. And Fat Eye, I think I've just been overlooked. They don't use adults at all in any of their recipes to produce cubs. They don't even use the adults. Just full stop. The creatures that die when producing cubs, pups, or larvae by default are Ulrich, Corlex, Cotton Guts, Scrondrix, Dingrit, Trits, and Fagnots. And none of them should lose all of the adults, frankly. None of them should always be losing all of their adults. At bare minimum, there should be a chance that you lose an adult on all of them, because every single one of those are creatures where you are raising those cups, pups, larvae with members of their own species. You know? And they're all like mammalians or actually, are they all mammalians? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Scrondrix are like dinosaurs. They're lizards, but still. Mammalians and reptilians, and yeah, they don't follow that type of breeding pattern generally, where you lose adults. Let's just say that if you lose adults, we should be getting significantly more cubs out than we currently do. It is okay to lose adults on creatures where it sort of does make sense to lose the adults. Things like fish. I can logically come to the conclusion that fish can straight up die when they produce their eggs, because guess what? There are fish that straight up die as soon as they produce offspring. Not all fish do, but there are fish that do. And the same goes for some insectoid type creatures. Some crustaceans will behave this way. Not all do. Not all do. And it is okay to expect at least a small chance of loss on the mammalians, the reptilians, the avians, and insectoids as well. Some insectoids. Because think like cockroaches, they don't immediately die upon producing offspring. Not all insects do. But things like cicadas, mayflies, there are creatures that their adult phase exists only to breed, and then they immediately die as soon as they've bred. But they produce an inordinate amount of offspring, like a gigantic, huge amount of offspring. Having 2 make 3 does not fit the definition properly. If 2 made 12, yeah, that's closer to the definition. That is closer to what you would expect for losing the parents, is if they make a bunch of children. But as it stands, nah, that don't work so well. Now, there are others on this list. So eggs and cocoons. The ones that do not currently die when they produce eggs and cocoons are Zipir, Arthurians, and Vrauk. And this at least makes some degree of sense to me. You get Zipir eggs without losing Zipir, you get Arthurian eggs without losing Arthurians, and you get Vrauk without losing Vrauk. However, the rest of the things that produce eggs and cocoons do not like return stuff, with the exception with ARQADS, and we'll be making ARQADS today. So Vonix, all Vonix, which is a worm, a giant worm, a massive giant worm. Every single Vonix dies. Every single Dilmo dies. That makes sense. Dilmos make sense as a crustacean. That I can logically explain in my mind. I can what is the word? Rationalize. I can rationalize Dilmo. Numals. Every Numal dies, which is a new like flying thing. It's massive, and it dies when it produces its offspring. Same with Xenos. All Xenos immediately die upon producing offspring, which not exactly the case if you watch the movies. I'm pretty sure that the queen doesn't immediately die as soon as it produces an offspring. And fish die as well, and I can rationalize fish. I cannot really rationalize anything other than fish and Dilmos to always die. Now, ARQADS are a special case. ARQADS are a case where the queens have a small chance of dying. It's a 99.9% chance to get your queen back. And all the workers die. Now, I don't know if you've ever like seen a beehive But the workers don't die when they pull the eggs out of the queen. Just saying, they don't usually die when they pull the eggs out of the queen. Thank you for that comment. You're close to logistics. Well, congratulations. Logistics is a big step. There's a lot that goes into logistics sciences. So, yeah, I had made this conversation last string regarding the Ulrich and the Mukmo, and even to an extent the Cotton Gut. Now, with Cotton Gut, they are like mice and rabbits, and I don't know about you. Have you, you do know that mice and rabbits are quite fecund. They do produce a lot of offspring every cycle, but they produce a lot of offspring over the course of many, many, many cycles, and they do not immediately die upon producing offspring. That is not a thing that happens. In fact, quite the opposite. They stay alive and they produce multiple offspring across multiple cycles of offspring. And that's the problem with the rabbits and the mice, rodents in general. That's where bad things happen. That's how Australian rabbit crisis happens. They keep going and going and going and going and going, and they do not stop. So no, it makes no sense that that every single one of your parent cotton guts die, or I guess in this case with cotton guts, because you have studs as modules, and then you have like regular cotton guts in the recipe, you would lose the females, all of the females. Like, no, that does not happen. I cannot rationalize losing the adults with cotton guts, like any amount of adults as cotton guts in any of their recipes. When do you get salt mines? Salt mines are here. You mine your salt. You mine the salt to do coal power before logistics science. I mean, it's like basically at logistics science because you'll have mechanical parts and intermetallics, but yeah, you do mines. Yeah, you have to find a salt deposit. Where do I have salt in here? They look a little bit like this. They're these like gray-white rocks, and you mine the salt. Each individual mine, they run off of gas cans, and they produce 10 salt per second per mine. So good luck with that throughput as well. Getting everything out at that rate is it can be a problem at times. But yeah, you have to find actual nodes to mine for salt early on. So, work that I've done off screen. Now that I've had this big conversation about Ulrich and all the other creatures, really, the only ones I have modified at this point in time, because they'll be more immediately relevant to us, are Ulrich, Mukmo, and Cotton Guts to return all of the adults. Although I will make this caveat that if there is a change, that it will likely be a chance to lose one, and I'll have to go back and add another line of input again for like all of these things, because I can at least justify a chance for a loss of some of the adults, or at least one of the adults. A small chance. I can I can justify and rationalize a small chance to lose one of the adults, just to simulate death during childbirth, basically. But beyond that, no. They should all at least return one for the most part, and at worst have it be a chance to return the other, if not straight up return the other. Because yeah, they're already doing that with Kamouts, and they're already doing that with ARQAD Queens. Like, come on. And then Fat Eye should use the adults. Like, Fat Eye just got overlooked. They don't even use the adults to produce Fat Eye cubs. Like, huh? What? Okay, big long list. Next, what did I do between streams? I finished Ulrich. I did that change, and I modified the things that the Ulrichs are looping in each of the reproductive complexes. So I do have 3 of Ulrich now for my expense of Relesia. I finished Poor Alien Samples, and those went online because we did work on this factory last time. It's just that I built it and it wouldn't run because we didn't have the Ulrich for the bone meal yet. And I now have Ulrich slaughtering, a line of Ulrich slaughtering over here. This is slaughtering 1 Ulrich per second in here along this wonderful line of 30 slaughterhouses, and I'm getting the bone meal out of this. I have all of the things merging up on the outputs, and I moved the voiding all the way down here, the excess voiding all the way down here, so everything will always be moving. We are always slaughtering at this point, and yeah, I've got some nice full stations in here full of creature parts. Creature bits! Who then? Automation science. As you may have seen, I put that below the Ulrichs over here. I now have automation science, the most automated of automation science. And why are you just... What the heck happened here? Go away. Go away. Why are you constantly requesting the ash? Oh. Oh. Okay. You somehow didn't end up with... That's weird that the reach doesn't reach out there. Alright, I need to go and fix that, because that's eating up... That's keeping my trains from doing their job. Because I don't want power production at all based off of anything that could just suddenly stop. In particular, like, the most important thing that I don't want ceasing at any point is any amount of power production. So, no, I'm not going to ever throw excess of anything into power production. Because I cannot guarantee that I will always have excess. I need to count on having a certain amount of power at all times. And the same thing, that same logic applies for me for every single ingredient I have across the entire base. I want to know exactly how much I have being produced at all times. And I do not ever want to use or depend upon production of an excess item. Unless I am also voiding, like, the main product as well. So there are situations where I am There, that should be fixed now. Don't know how that happened. There are situations where I am getting multiple items from a factory and storing the quote-unquote excess, like, byproduct stuff, but in those circumstances, I am also voiding the main product so that the byproduct always produces, just at all times. So my coal deposits are 37 plus million per ore patch, you know. I very specifically set my deposits to be, like, basically infinitely dense for a reason. I do not like mining, like, at all. So I always use as dense of resource deposits as possible. If I had a way of just telling the game, hey, these are like 100% ore patches, like percentage-based ore patches, I would like that. If I could guarantee that they stay at 100% at all times, that would be even more ideal, actually. And there are mods for that. I just would need to make sure that it would apply it to, like, all of the Pi ore patches. And that's what I would prefer. But yeah, I do not like limited, like, ore resources. I don't like moving ore patches that get mined out. I find that incredibly tedious and boring. It is not why I play this game. I want to solve logistical puzzles and not have to go back to solve a thing that I've already solved a second time. So, that being said, I run without biters and I run with as dense of resources as I possibly can. So, I made the automation science. This is 6 per second of automation science. I am making retrovirus. Retro, the most retro of retrovirus. I'm doing this out of the liquid nitrogen recipe because we now have access to that, and I happen to have gasoline and nitrogen on the train network, so you know what? May as well use all that stuff. And this is making retrovirus. We have made retrovirus in the past, just not out of the liquid nitrogen. But hey, I've got that. It's dangerous. Liquid, dangerous retrovirus. Most retro of retrovirus. I also have plasmids now on my train network. I have biosamples somewhere. Right up here, I have biosamples on the train network when I ever get glass to feed the thing. Glass is my current bottleneck. Main bottleneck across the base. I need more standard glass, and I need more raw quartz processing into molten glass for glass. It's just, yeah, very, very limited at this moment in time. And the unfortunate part is that such a build is massive due to the amount of pure sand required at this point in the game. The pure sand is extremely killer for space. So yeah, that and the size of the crystal mines, I need another patch of quartz to tap, and like an entire square to dedicate to the glass, and the fuel for the glassworks to produce the molten glass and glassware. Okay, that will lead me into basic substrate. Over here, right in here, under the AUG food. Yeah, basic substrate, it's moss, it's cellulose, it's incubated petri dishes, a not insignificant amount of incubated petri dishes. This is 20 per second of the basic substrate. I am also making cDNA somewhere or other. I have completely forgotten where the cDNA is, but I can see over here, as I showed before, this is a 1 cotton gut per second net at the moment. It's built to support 5, but I don't have enough studs for the other, 4 rows of this. So I need at some point to go and get more studs for the array, the total array, so that it can get to 5. And over here, solidified Sarcoris, using up some of the cotton guts to make solidified Sarcoris, so that's going. I have that cDNA somewhere over the rainbow. Over here, way down in this corner, I have cDNA, incubated petri dishes, moss gene samples. I desperately need more moss as well as glass, but yep, cDNA makes very, very, very little cDNA, but hey, there you go. I talked about the cotton guts. I have doubled my Relesia. So where previously I had 15 Relesia net. Note that I haven't really complained about the plants too particularly much. I've complained about the complex creatures and their ratios of adults to children. I'm not at all going to complain too awfully much about this, but I will say that this is a situation with Relesia where, at the most basic of recipe, you need to spend exactly as much as the amount that you get net out, so to keep the system moving. So this nets 15, but it is producing 30 on each of these sections. So between these 2 sections, they are producing 60 Relesia, but half of it needs to loop back as seeds. But we could argue, I could have an argument about plants and the way that plants, actually work, but whatever, we'll go with this. We'll go with this. We will assume that the plants just straight up die on the production of the seeds. Whatever. It happens for some plants. They make their seeds, they die, and then that's it. But again, similar with the animals. Not all plants do that. Not all flowers do that. Some flowers come back every year from the same base and breed again. But not all plants breed again. So it's like, okay. In this case, we're simulating ripping out the plant, threshing its seeds, etc. And we're doing that for like all of the plants. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. Except the native flora. We don't do that really with native flora, but we're not getting the seeds for the native flora either. We're just pulling out the flora. Okay, whatever. I scaled that. I have obtained batteries on the train network. N amount of batteries somewhere. Here. Batteries. Yes, batteries. They're here. It's the most basic recipe for batteries, but and it's not a particularly efficient method of getting batteries, but we will change that as time goes on. Mechanical parts. Yes, I finally have obtained N amount, or I'm supposed to have obtained N amount of mechanical parts. What has happened here? We are missing this guy. This guy is somehow missing a thing. What? Oh, I see. I see what I did there. I did not unstack the batteries. Oopsies. So, you know, this whole time I haven't actually been getting any of the mechanical parts, but I don't need them yet. I will need them when I make PyScience 2, not right now. The mall is making its own mechanical parts when needed. And it makes all the things to make the mechanical parts at the mall already. So after mechanical parts, Moss Mark II. Oh boy, yeah, I went sort of out of my way because I got solidified Sarkoris and, you know, all the other things. And I started producing Mark II Moss. This is a slow process at the start, but I did get a little bit lucky and succeeded on the initial recipe. The initial recipe is just some some of this alginate here, and urea, wood, and moss with muddy sludge, which is particularly easy to make. This gives you a 0.5% chance of getting the upgraded moss unit, and then this recipe to use Mark II moss to get an extra Mark II moss. This one needed solidified Sarkoris and cDNA and like ground samples and all that. So this has been operating with cDNA whenever I get cDNA in, which is being looted by my glass, of course. We get some more Mark II, and I've been working on upgrading my Moss factory to Mark II, because as it turned out, I sort of had already built most of the way to be able to support the Mark II modules in here. I needed to tack on an additional furnace and a bit more processing of muddy sludge for it, but yeah, I can at this point now, after adding those couple of things in there, just straight up upgrade fully to Mark II, and I'm down to a few more modules necessary to get the whole thing in, and that would effectively double my moss production. Not quite. It's like 4 buildings short of straight up doubling, despite the modules being twice the speed. This is just like the baseline crafting speed issue on the building. Alright, what I'm going to do over here is I'm just going to do this unstacking here. There we go. That will do. Now we're getting control panels. Yeah, so the speed bonus of a Mark I Moss versus a Mark II Moss is it's a doubling. So it goes from 65% to 130 speed bonus. But you have to consider that that's in relation to the base speed of the building. So even if you upgrade all of the modules, you aren't quite like actually doubling. It's not an exact doubling. Because each module adds to the base speed. And of course, the first module turns the building on to begin with. So it makes it so that let's say, I think I have enough here to at least saturate one building. I can show you. Actually, I could show you the difference down here because it's already like that. So a Mark I building full has a crafting speed of 1.075 versus the full Mark II building, which is a 2.05. So 1.075, 2.05. That looks like double to me. Hold on. 1.075. Would be 2.15. You get that base speed difference. Hello, my dolly. Hello, dolly. Let's see, dolly. Hello. Hello, doll. Yeah, we've got the doll. Hello, baby. Yeah, hello, baby. Yeah. How's that baby girl? The baby girl is here. Yeah, so the difference is that 0.1 base speed on here going from Mark 0 or Mark 1 to Mark 2. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you trying to go after that? No. Daba. Daba. This is a Wii sensor bar. This is a Wii sensor bar that she is now biting. Could you not? Could you not? The wire is very fragile on these things. That cord is quite fragile, baby. But it's a string. It's a string, and she wants the string. Yes, baby girl. I know you want to play with string. I know you really want to play with string. So yeah, you can see that it's not quite a doubling. No. No, stop. Okay. What else? What else? Distractions. So many distractions. Okay, I doubled seaweed. Down here. Over here, I have 75 seaweed. I have 75 seaweed in here. The problem with this 75 seaweed is that it eats up, like, a lot of saline water. Here. Is that it eats up 375 saline water. And 62.5 tar. That's the problem with this one. Get off. Yeah, Mew Mew, complain. Off she goes to the window. So this makes 75. It's stacked to produce one belt of stacked product. This is also 75 per second. The difference is that this only uses water. And, well, it also uses, like, 360 seaweed crop facilities. It uses a few seaweed crops facilities. But it is double the amount of seaweed that I previously had. And unfortunately, I may have to copy and paste this again down here. I'm planning on going and doing this, adding another 75. The reason being is because I am at some point going to double my agar, and each one of these agar production areas, yeah, each one of these eats 75 seaweed. The agar, 15 agar is 75 seaweed, which is then 1-to-1 into petri dishes. I'm going to need a few petri dishes, just a few of them. So, from there, Pi Science 1. I talked about making logistics science. I have also made Pi Science 1 somewhere, right in here. right in here. So it eats up the basic substrate and some glassware to make Pi Science 1. This looks like it's currently limited by train throughput more than anything. But hey, we've got some Pi Science 1 and the automation science. This is 3 per second of Pi Science 1 up to if it had all of its inputs coming in at proper speeds. And then over here, we have the logistics science with local animal samples on here, bringing in plasmids, bones, skin, brains, lard, guts, and meat to produce these animal samples. Oh, and blood, of course. Producing samples, add on the poor alien samples, add on solidified Sarcoris and batteries whenever they come in. And ta-da, we will have up to 2 per second of logistics science packs. And after having all that science, I just went right down here, part of the mall-ish area, and put in my requester stations for all sciences, and built a line of 100 labs. Which, you know, sort of made it so that I took the remaining sciences that I had access to, and they're done now. It's all done. So, all that said, all those conversations had and out of the way, it is time to move on to ARQADS. Oh boy. Oh boy, it's time. It is time for the ARQAD shenanigans, as I have been joined again by the boy, by the Ollie boy. Hello, my Ollie. Big boy. So I didn't only make the Mark II moss at the mall, I've also set up seaweed, or sea sponges, excuse me. I set up some sponges. I've got a spot for Zipier, but we have to sort of make the artificial blood first for Zipier. Yeah, I see that the FPS counter is lowering a bit at times, but I think that's more my recording process rather than the game itself. I'm pretty sure if I tell the game to run above 1.0 that it will run above 1.0. I think this is something else causing it. So I have a few ARQADS and a few eggs that have been crafted the old-fashioned way from scratch. Where did those actual ARQADS go? I see where the larva went. Where did the actual ARQADS go on the list? Hello? Hello? There you are. So I have 92 ARQADS to work with. This will be interesting because this entire thing will eventually need 162 just to be able to produce a net 0.1 ARQAD. Yeah, that's my good boy. Now he's all sleepies. Now he's sleepies. Yes, now he's sleepy kitty. Yeah, sleepy kitty. There we go. Sleepies. Sleepies. Oh boy, yeah. I think I'm carrying around the vast majority of all these things, and okay. Breathe. Breathe. This has an order of operations to it as well, so even though I'm gonna like make all this stuff together, it's like it's so much to do. Where am I going to do it is the wonderful question of the century, as per usual. Probably down here. Plonk this here, give myself plenty of room. I am not going to mine any amount of natural gas through the bitumen seeps until such time as I am able to tell the game to make these percentage-based outputs. There is a 0% chance that I will play with limited oil. Or natural gas or tar. Like, that is not going to happen. Maybe I'll make a modification, multiply all of the values by a factor of like 1,000, 10,000. Make it so that the amount of resources are effectively infinite. And then I will consider actually using those mines, those derricks. What there needs to be is startup options in Pi Petroleum Handling that let you set a multiplier, a universal multiplier to bitumen seep output, or to the amount that's used as the like baseline multiplier. I just remember that somewhere the game like multiplies by 10 or something like that, because it starts at like 100k resources at like bare minimum. Like if you roll 1 on the 1 to 4 random, and if you get Mark 1 building with level 1 drilling fluid, I believe it's 100k. Which, you know, 100k, if you need 100 fluid per second out of that mine, well, that mine lasts a whole of 17 minutes. Like, it's just not useful at all. There's zero use to bitumen seeps at any phase of the game. Because like by the time you're able to get the higher mark level stuff, your demands have far exceeded even your Mark 1 level demands. And the amount of gain that you get is not, it doesn't scale enough to the amount of extra you need. And it unfortunately was not touched in any of the rebalance efforts going into Pi Alternative Energy. Landfilling. Gotta kill all this water. And I guess the other thing that I did between streams is I did go and manually placed a lot of rail across the base in various places. tried to unstuck a bunch of construction bots as well, because I had a few that were stuck. Quite a few that were stuck. I think this is good enough at this point. But yeah, with these bitumen seeps, it just... The base amount that you get out of these bitumen seeps is not good enough. Not even close for a per mine volume. And since that baseline is not enough, so too are all of the other steps above it not even close to being enough. Meow. Meow. Hi, Dolly. Meowing at me. Are you gonna jump up? Are you gonna jump up? Back of the chair? Yeah, back of the chair. There you... Oh, there we go. Locked the chair. Hi. Hi, Dolly. Now we got both of the babies. Now we've got both of the babies here. Yes. Yeah, Biter? Hey. Mr. Biter? What you doing, Dolly? What you doing, Dolly? Where you going? Where you going? Big girl. Okay. Phew. Okay. Where do we even start with this? So, ARQADS. I will try to explain the ARQADS. Oh, right. Do I even have... have I done the thing? I think I have to go and do the thing. Oh, good, I do. I do have rug food on the train network. Thank God! Thank God I have rug food on the train network. Okay. It would be nice if I could mine natural gas and just use mined natural gas. But, no. Because it's not... It's not good enough. Not good enough. I would need, like 30 something per second just for this 0.1 ARQAD. Where is it on here? I need 32. 32.01. If I roll a 1 on a bitumen seep, that would be, that'd be 100,000. You know? Divided by the 32. The 32 per second, that's 312.5 seconds. You know? And divide that 60 seconds. Huh? Am I even doing this math right? No, I'm doing it wrong because I typed in 10,000 rather than 100,000. 3,125 seconds. That's 52 minutes. That's 52 minutes per seep. Well, here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seeps, so less than 10 hours of an entire patch. On a map that's going to go 700 hours. Okay? And that's, you know, worst case rolls. You could roll 4s and get, you know, 4 times the amount. So it would last a little while, but the fact that it drains, period, I don't like. Like, I'd rather it just not drain. I want to put down a natural gas derrick and have it always output 100 units for the entirety of the rest of the game. Anyway, stuff things. Stuff and things. This is not even remotely ordered in a good way. We'll start from the end, or from the top here, with our final step and just try to logic the way down. So for ARQADS, we need to produce ARQADS from eggs, ultimately. The process from eggs is we have to throw caged Vrauk into Vrauk paddocks with honeycombs and the eggs. We get back the cage, we get maggots, and we get used combs. We cannot do anything with the used combs at this tech level. Nothing, nada. You have to just burn them. You have to throw in order to raise the ARQAD maggots, you have to throw in this item called the empty comb. Not the used comb that you get from the previous thing. An empty comb with the maggots and ARQAD honey. And ARQAD honey. And Vrauk food. And uncaged Vrauk. So we have both caged and uncaged Vrauk in order to make ARQAD nests. The ARQAD nests then get used with Relesia, sap, red hot coke, biomass, and natural gas barrels to produce your adult ARQADs and more used combs. Okay, how do you get the eggs? The eggs come from queens, with a 0.01% chance of losing your queen. So you will have to have something that is able to produce additional queens. You can do that out of ARQAD nests with natural gas and honey. It's simple. Thankfully. You'll have to have an ARQAD nest to throw at it every so often. But hey, there you go. It also eats ARQADs. It also eats ARQADs. You know, as part of the process of, making ARQADs, it eats ARQADs. The workers. It eats up your worker bees for no reason whatsoever outside of FU. So to make our 0.1 ARQAD, we need to make effectively 0.3 ARQADs. Gee, that's very similar to those Ulrichs, isn't it? Where you need to make triple the amount of your intended output. It sucks. So, Relesia plus workers plus queens plus natural gas barrels, more honey, and red hot coke, and you get your eggs. We will need to get honeycombs and honey, which are from honeycombs, in order to make this work. Well then, ultimately, the whole point of doing this is to make honey. To be completely clear, the whole point of all this is to actually have honey. Net honey out. Where even is here? Yeah, here. So really, what I should do is just be like, hey, I want 100 honey out. And that should adjust the numbers so that it will produce a net 100 honey out for me. Because it's going to include the honeycombs here. And the production of empty honeycombs here. Because, yeah, we need to, we effectively lose ARQAD honeycombs in this process when producing these up here on this particular step. Since this doesn't use barreled honey, it uses the actual honeycombs rather than the barreled honey for God knows what reason. Meaning that we will always have to produce these empty honeycombs. So, yeah, we need an apiary that is making these empty honeycombs out of oleochems, botospores, and relesia. So we need oleochems on this, and we need natural gas, and we need to produce empty combs from a lot of stuff, and all the stuff to make those empty combs. Also, that we end up with honey and an excess amount of ARQADS to the tune of 0.1. To the tune of 0.1. Yeah, it's few ingredients for this, and it is a lot of steps. Fortunately, it's not a lot of buildings outside of the 33 pump jacks I will need to get enough natural gas. And for the life of me, I still don't know why they decided to change the recipe for the pump jacks to just not output natural gas directly. Like, why was that necessary? Why is this producing raw gas instead of natural gas? I don't know. Again, this is another one of those screw you situations. We're like, oh, of course we want to just make this harder on the player for no reason outside of making it harder. La-di-da, do that one, and then... Oh, it's already... I already have one of these. Interesting. What else uses sand? You use sand. Okay. Alright. That means I also have a soil on this list. Yes, 41! 41 soil extractors. Do I need soil as soil? Yes, for the fluid mining drill. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Very, very interesting. So, 9. Alright. Start way up top. Way up here. This is gonna be a long, long one. Goodbye. Death to water. I have a area with this already. I have forgotten where. I know I've done this. Where did I need sand as sand? Here. You. You lovely thing. I sort of need that to go the other way, but you know what? It's fine. I'll just reverse it separately. That would be 9 of these. And just so we're clear, I would have to do this no matter what, even if I were to tap those bitumen seeps. Because the bitumen seeps would need this drilling fluid that I'm about to make. So even if I put a natural gas derrick down, multiple natural gas derricks down, it would still be... Whoops. Just reverse the belt, please. There we go. That'll do. It would still look like this. Although temporarily it wouldn't be necessary to keep it at all times, just enough to tap all the nodes. The problem is that the nodes just don't make enough. Okay, well that's a few thingies. We're looking at this guy. I don't think I have 17 mixers. I don't know. Don't know. Ah yes, I will need a lot of steam, which is going to be a lot of power. Humma. Humma. So enough of these guys for 20 per second of soil. That's 10. And that is fine on the water. Now I will need to stack stuffs. I'll need to stack this stuffs. Aww, I am bad. I am bad. This is pure sand. This is not sand. I shouldn't have done that because I need to actually cut this part and then delete this part and then paste there. That's better. I thought I grabbed a sand and not a pure sand. Oh well. That's better. Alright, sand. Every 6 is 15, so we're gonna do this, that. There we go. Alright, and then similarly here it's going to be 5 and 5. Okay, move the whole thing there. Excuse me. There. Oh boy, power. Power to the everything. Steam. Where are these? It should be 13. Oh, it's 14. Oh boy. Right. Each one of these produces 50.7 units of steam. and thanks to having coal-based power plants, it is more efficient to use these than it is to use the actual coal or its derivatives to produce steam. Always going to be better to spend the power. Then the clay. Oh boy, the clay. 3 rows of 9. 3 rows of 9. Now, how much do you make? Each 0.75. Alright. Fine. Be that way. This is also 20. Wonderful. Which means these 18 probably produce 15, right? Okay, they produce 13.5. Good to know. Power. So much easier with long reach. Well, alrighty then. That is nearly that. Now to pray that I actually have 17 of these. A little lower. There we go. Or 18 of these, I should say. Good. Now to split 3 inputs. Oh boy. That is a number that is greater than 7.5. Great. Great. I need to give this a think. A bit of a think. Nope. That will not work. Or will it? Will it? Will that? Will? Yes. Yes, it will work. Wow. I will take it. I will accept that gladly. Oh boy. These are the logistical puzzles that I prefer solving. It's these puzzles that make the game interesting. So, also making things interesting is I need to unstack on all of these. I know it's not going to be like perfectly mirrored, different items going in on each line, but whatever, it's fine. It works, and that's what's important. Ow. Ah, my neck. I cricked my neck in the shower today, so now like the back of my neck, when I move or stretch, there's some pain in there. Yes, baby girl. Okay, that's drilling fluid 1. Should I have done that as a separate factory, producing drilling fluid 1 and putting it on the train network? Maybe. Maybe, but now I have something that I can copy and paste anywhere in the entire base, because it's essentially just power to produce drilling fluid 1. Yeah, I can just paste this down wherever I need, 200 drilling fluid 1 at this point. So now all of those things can be checked off as completed as part of this build. Next, the reason why we are using this stuff is to pump jack don't want it that close. That is a line of 11. How much each? Oh, it's only 0.25 each. Alright, well, guess I could have had it closer, but whatever, it's fine. Power. There we go. Oh, right. I need to grab more pump jacks for the build. Ah, buh. This is off. That's better. Okay. So now that is the raw gas. I can check that off. And then it is 2 compressors that will take in the raw gas and produce multiple things, but in particular, natural gas. And that is my alarm to indicate that I am halfway through today's stream. Oh, joy. Oh, bliss. I want to finish this natural gas logistics. Oh god, game. Please. You're like spawning in additional resources or something. Of note, you get naphtha out of this, which is interesting. Very interesting indeed. So, those other items are voided by what now? Sinkhole and naphtha by sinkhole. Oh boy. Double sinkhole shenanigans. There we go. That is the natural gas build. Oh joy! The natural gas part of the build. You see how big that was. Fortunately, every other aspect of this build is only like 1 to 4 buildings in size. I guess it's 11 on that honey centrifuge. I guess that's the biggest part of the rest of this build. Well, of course, you know, these apiaries as well. The apiaries are going to be big, but a lot of the other individual steps are going to be far fewer buildings. So, it is time to take a brief break. I will be back for our second half, where we will actually get done with the rest of this build, ideally. I will be back shortly. And I have returned. Welcome back. I have realized I do need to split the sand, because I will be using a bit more sand. I'm making more than 20 per second on the sand. That will get used further down the line. I am not going to immediately barrel the natural gas that will get produced out of this. I've got lots of other, like, intermediary steps before that. I need to decide what exactly I'm building towards next. That's the next part of this, is what am I building towards? Am I building towards the honey? The honeycombs and the honey? And it's like the middle section of this build, and then the ending section is the breeding part? I think that's how I'm going to have to do it, because I do need the honey for the barrels, but for the honey barrels, and the honeycombs for the combs. And that part does not need empty combs to get into the honey section. So let's do the honey section. I'll need the empty combs. I'll need empty comb production for this to maintain it. So this is going to start with, like, the oleochems. Thinking this starts with oleochems. Hello, Ollie. Welcome back. Welcome back, Ollie. Big boy. Yeah. Yeah, apparently he was grooming his chipmunk baby. He was apparently grooming his chipmunk baby. Playing with the babies, bringing them over, huh? Yeah, you gonna settle? You gonna settle here? Your tail's flicking. Your tail's flicking, big boy. Yeah, you're gonna settle. You're gonna settle. Right next to me. Settle, settle, yes. And groom. And bite? Are you gonna bite your nails? Yeah, you're gonna lick and bite at your nails. I guess I need to trim those, huh? Do we need to trim those nails? Do we need to trim those nails? Yes. Yes, we do need to trim those nails. Where's the trimmers? Oh, trimmers? Where are the... There you are. Hi. Yeah, I see the nail you're biting. Yeah, I see. A little more. There you go. There you go. There you go. Now you're licking my hand. Thank you. There, you gonna go and just trim it out a little more. There you go, baby. There we go. Why do you still want to bite at your nails? Huh? Why are you still biting? They're short now. They're short now. Now you're licking and biting, chewing. He does that. He just does that with his feet. He, like, bites at his nails. Don't know why. How about the other foot? Are you gonna go and do the other foot too? If one needs it, the other will need it too. Yeah, the other will need it, but oh, there he goes. I touched the other foot. Now he has to look at the other one. Of course, because of course he does. Okay, we will be working towards the oleochems, which I believe only needs the FTS reactors added, with the input belts, of course, and it needs water. Oh, you're gonna settle, okay. Settle, settle. That's the good Ollie. Yeah, that's a good boy. Yeah, I figured as much. You've got your hooks in now. Hey, can you let go of my shirt? Let go of the shirt. There. That's a good boy. Yes, that's the good boy. Yeah. Mr. Cat. I see that schnaggle. Oh, sudden. You heard something? You hear noise? These cats are extremely noise sensitive. They do not like any sudden noise happening. Ah, boy, so I'm gonna throw in a mixed belt, I think? Yep, because lard input less than 7.5. Wait a second. Oh. I'm like, wait a second. This is trying to make the 667 steam for the thingy. Yeah. Yeah, about that. I need two. I need, like one, I think, FTS reactor. Yeah, that could have been bad. I was overbuilding on this. So yeah, it's definitely one. I'm like, that is a lot of lard to be throwing at this. Yeah, it would help if I, only actually gave it what it needed. You know, that would be nice. Just give it what it's needed. Oh, it's a gas vent for you. All right then. That is that on oleochem production. I can find that in here. So that's oleochems. I need the Bodo spores and Relesia. So Bodo's spores are here. Just plop down a singular thingy. Now, I'll note that Bodo spores do not get, for whatever reason, a 0.6 output. They don't get a 0.6. They get only the 0.4 and the 0.8. I don't know why. It's only 0.4 and 0.8, but that's the way it is. That's just the way it is. I'm gonna be bringing Relesia down because I'll need it for several other things without the spores up above. So I'll have a Relesia input here that'll be with the spores. I guess this technically would be a our titanium at ARQADS. May as well add the next thing. Our lard at ARQADS. And the next one. Our Relesia at ARQADS. I'm gonna need the ARQADS provided on the train network in order to get ARQAD Venom. And apparently there's pneumoholes. Mark 4s, but there's this decanoic acid into dodecylamine. Or dodecylamine into a pre-pesticide too. Oh boy, so that's going to be involved in pesticides and iron. I'm not going to say this word out loud. I'm not going to say this out loud. But that's space science. Okay. And then personal fusion cells for utility science. Okay, so we will need to do that for utility and space science, as well as for pesticides and everything that needs pesticide twos, which would include the best recipes for Grodd, 2 for Yotoi and Renea, and for Aurum and for Guar. Is my lard stacked? I never remember. I think it is. Yes, lard is stacked. And that's the Renea. Okay. Renea plus Bodos. And that will go into... what again? Here. One apiary. Grand total. 1 whole apiary. It will need oleochem barrels. Whoops. Get over. I need a barreling machine. Oh, barreling machine. Barreling machine. Hello. Do... Okay, I could just, like, load her into this. I don't really need any more than that. And then the output... filter empty barrels. By the way, have you noticed that, there's been a pretty big change that has happened at some point? The vanilla intermediates category is gone. Have you noticed that? There's no more vanilla intermediates category. All of the vanilla intermediates have been moved into industry and all of the other pie related areas where they sort of make sense. So like the iron plates, steel plates, copper plates, those are all in raw ores now. And the empty barrels are in industry items. Just one of those little things to keep note of here. Okay, that should be that. Just a box so I can throw in some barrels for it. I know it's not operating at this moment. I can make it operate, though. Titanium and lard and Ralesia. Ta-da. And that'll make this section of the build run and get me some empty honeycombs. Some glorious empty honeycombs. Which, yeah, I will be input priority right here from whatever input I need. Not this particular spot, though, because I need another barreling machine. Oh boy, so much barreling machine shenaniganery will be required here for these next steps. Actually, no, I don't even need to barrel. What am I thinking? The next step is just taking these combs and making ARQAD honeycombs. This needs uncaged Ulrich in this next step. Oh boy, so I can have this. I can input priority right. And I can bring the Ulrichs in there. And I can have this line. The problem is that this does need to be lower. This needs to be pasted that way. This needs to come out like so. And now we can probably raise this to there, and then figure out how the hell I'm gonna do 50 of these apiaries. Ah, boy. Because I do not have enough ARQADS for the whole thing. I need 602 ARQADS. I've got like 90 something, 80, 70 something. So because of that, I'm gonna leave it as the one building for the moment. I will need to plan out exactly how I'm gonna do 50. Probably just 2 lines of 25, to be honest here. Set it so that I don't build them. Ah, goodness, that 25 is pretty long. I would like to tap that next slit and or the Kimberlite, but oh well. Probably not gonna happen. Probably not gonna happen. And then it is, 2 lines of this. So I have the output to think about. Yeah, that's fine. That'll work. That'll work. Lovely. Lovely doubly. Oh, and it can flip. Good. I like that you can flip. Get flippy. Yeah, and if I can use regular non-powered inserters for the whole thing, and that, as they say, is that. Bring power down. The power lines will run down the middle of the whole thing. I'm gonna just not have these ghost entities. At all. But I will have at least the placement, the spacing for everything. And I need to be like, okay, that's gonna be the Ulrichs. My next line of input will be Ulrichs. Okay. You go down. There will be a counter line coming up with the honeycombs produced from this step, centrifuge, right down here, producing honey. Whoops. Okay, what's the individual throughput here? It's fine. There we go. No. Couple gigawatts? Gigawatts? Yeah. They're 200 megs each, so yeah, every 5 is 1. So yeah, 2 gigawatts of energy through centrifuges. Just on this step alone. By the way, how much power total does it use? 2.7. So yeah, 2 of that 2.7 is, this step alone. But only when they're operating. I do need to scale my power, by the way. I have 13.2. We're currently at 9.56-ish. And my base isn't at 100% uptime. Yeah, about that. About that. When I really get to consuming sciences, well, right now this is with science buffering at the moment. I'm still filling most. I don't know. I think that the automation science should be full by this point, but oh, the automation science isn't full at this point. Wow. So yeah, all of the automation, Pi 1, and logistics sciences are crafting. So all of the ingredients for all of those sciences are active factories. So with all of those active factories making the existing sciences at current rates, which are limited by my glass and my moss at the moment, we're at nearly 10 gigawatts. And you can see that the I'm actually close to my max at this point, I think. I think I'm close to the actual max, because that max is fluctuating. I don't know why. There's something... somewhere... not getting enough input on it. No, all those have steam. All those have steam. These? These don't have enough steam. From this. So you don't have enough molten salt to do all you need to do. So let me throw in a little bit more molten salt into this line, and then cut it off. And that should get it producing more, I would hope. We need all these to be green lights and all these to be green lights, ultimately. But it might take some time. To equalize out. Well, that should hopefully fix that one. How about this one? Is this one suffering the same thing? No. No. And no. Those are all good. How about these? Are these all good? This one isn't. I don't know, for some reason both of these. Here, I'll throw in a little bit more on that. Yeah, for whatever reason, these didn't get enough molten to keep up, I think. I don't know. Something's up. Something's up here. Huh. Ah, I see. I see what's wrong here. That would help. And so would that. That explains that one. But doesn't explain this one. So this one was shortage of fluid. Aha. Little boogers. Oh, and then, you know, rather than having all 6 there, that one was missing 2. Great. Great. Well, now that's fixed. Okay. Oh, hey, we have our stuff. The stuff is here. It has arrived. Ta-da, we have honey. Glorious honey. I will need to split this, though, for use in other things. Though I would prefer honey. Do I? Nah. Just keep it the way it is. Alright, ARQAD honey. Honey, honey, honey. Next, we have our honey. Glorious. So we have the honey that will be used in the steps up above. Up above. What is the next step? Or set of steps? I have to decide what order of operations I'm going to do here. I think it's reproductive complex first. Reproductive, then maggots, then ARQAD nests, and then queens plus apiaries for the adult worker ARQADS. Thing is, I need to incorporate production of empty combs into this somewhere. Which would end up being a pretty big gap between the maggot step and the comb step. Because all this stuff down here is for combs. All the, like, a lot of this stuff is for combs. So I'm gonna do combs next. And because I don't need that many of these empty combs, I'm considering just doing these on a horizontal rather than on a vertical. Considering it, but nah. Just nah. Ash is brought in by train, sand is from above, tailings just got made, and then coal dust. Is a high pressure furnace from this stuff. Am I in line properly? I think so still. So that makes that stuff, this stuff. Not this line. Not this line. This line, please. Thanks. Void, void. Oh. Oh. Not this line. This line. This is the line. Soot needs to get deleted somewhere. What else? Oh yeah, the saline. And the tar input, water input. Tar is used for biomass as well. Do you need biomass? No. Just sand. Alright, bring the sand. The sand shall flow. Not to there, though. Okay. Do you see sort of why I wanted to, like, just rotate this, put it on the horizontal rather than on the vertical? But this is... I can scale this later if I really have to. If I wanna. I can. If I want, I can do it. But do I want? Maybe not. We shall see. Okay, inputs. I need 2 fluids. Our creosote at ARQADS. Our tar at ARQADS. And the tar is where? Tar is here. Bring me the things. Bring me all of the things. Okay. Then output on you. How much are we? How much are we eating up? 0.08. Cool. 0.08. And it will get used with what? Vrauk food, maggots. Oh, do I have Vrauk on the train network? I'm pretty sure the answer to that is no. That is correct. The answer to do I have Rauk on the train network is a resounding no. And why are you not working? Not enough barrels of water. Cool. Barrels. What? I'm pretty sure I was able to do this remotely. Really? I could have sworn I was able to do that remotely. Oh well. But I'm like really close to it. Like, huh? Okay. I guess I'm just barely on the edge of being able to actually interact with the thing. So let me... just try moving. Just try moving a little bit. You know what? No, I'm gonna go up. We'll do this the correct way. Because apparently I have to come up here anyway for adding on another factory. Why did I do that way? It was too far back. And I can't delete. It's the other terrible thing. supply station. Yawn. Autosave is autosaving. Okay. Up we go. You there. Papa. Hole. Actually, what I should really do is put a much bigger box in line. But, whatever. Whatever. It's fine. We're good. We're fine. I'm like, apparently lacking formic acid production. I guess I need more Vrauk. I guess I just need more. Just in general, more everything. Especially since I'm about to start to demolish my Vrauk. I wanna, like, yeah, that's not what I want. Like, come on, game. You're smarter than that. At least I thought you were smarter than that. Okay, trains. Use the hotbar. It's much faster. Going up. Need to add a depot. Of course. Ta-da! We did it. Unfortunately, the way that this is designed is that it will stop producing completely if I fill up on formic, which probably not going to happen, but just as we're aware. Fortunately, it's not a huge problem at the moment because, well, this is not exactly a perpetual system that I am building that needs the Vrauk. It will eventually fill up with ARQADS for the moment because I'm not going to be consuming particularly many ARQADS as ARQADS at this moment in the game. Now, to get Pi Science 2, I do need the Venom, I think. I need 2.78 ARQAD Venom. Have I broken that down in here at all? I have here 0.28. I'm making 0.1. 0.28, huh? I'm making 0.1. Well, I guess I'll have to scale it at some point. But how many Vrauk? 21. Alright, yeah, I just need more Vrauk. Alright, whatever. I will need more Vrauk, but for now, just to get it operating. Just so that we're operational, we're gonna do this. Just keep on going. Just keep it on going. Okay. Next. On the list, I need the Kickalk. I need the Kickalk. That is our next ingredient. Our Kickalk at stuffs. Yeah, it'll produce modules for continued scaling. ARQADS. That is the point. This is the modules. This is the modules and the honey ultimately, but it's primarily the modules here. It's modules plus honey. I'm gonna have the honey put onto the train network so that when I have a separate build of ARQADS for ARQADS, which is what I think I'm gonna end up doing ultimately. Yeah, it's gonna be a separate build without the honey aspect of this, basically. Oh, it's still gonna be a copying of most of the build, though. Okay, so the Kickalk will be coming in for producing this. For producing fiber that's going to get used for producing coal dust. The coal dust goes in, makes the combs. I need ash. Ash technically should have been the next one, not the Kickalk, but oh well. Doesn't matter. I need a unstacker. Glorious ash. There. Beautiful ash. I need to kill soot, which means that I will need a fuel, which, oh, wouldn't you know it, we're making coal dust, and coal dust is totally a fuel. So if I can find my burners... It should be highlighted, right? There. Yeah. That'll ideally do. yeah, we'll do that. And then this. We'll do that. So this will make like that. And there you have it. Once the ash comes in, we will have empty combs getting produced. All right. Okay. That's the sap is the last step. The biomass is also the last step. So I'll do those at the last step. Okay. The only problem is we have like 3 separate things using natural gas, so it's like, oh, do I have 1 natural gas barrel or 3? Do I like try to combine all the barrels or just let them go? I'd rather have this be 3 separate barrel loops for the natural gas. It can get wonky. Gosh, I need to clean my keyboard again. It's just full of cat hair between the keys. My baby. Yeah? The baby sleepies. It's resting time. It's time to rest. Yes, it's time to rest. My babies. Yes. Dolly's so soft. Dolly's a softie. Okay. We're finally actually working on the ARQADS, by the way. It's time. We need honey barrels and we need natural gas barrels. So there's 2 barrelings. Double barrels. Doubling the barreling. Okay, well, because of that, 1 tile higher, please. Bring down natural gas and bring down honey. And it doesn't really matter which is which. Just have to make sure that I am not running it there. Run this line, please. Oops. I wanted the line right next to it. There. Alright, gotta walk. Made mistakes. Oh well. It happens. Have to figure out where I'm gonna run that Elysia line too. That's not good. That's not good. I will need to move you. Okay. Power. Okay, and input stuffs. Barrels. I need a radar, at least one, around here. Why haven't I gotten any of this yet? Because I haven't put in small parts yet. Right, I completely forgot about the small parts. Yeah. Here I am throwing in the inputs as I need them, and I didn't throw in the small parts. Wonderful. It's one of these. Okay. I am dangerously close on the small parts. I think I'm using more now than I have. Okay, that'll be one of the small parts. It needs to split, go up, and into there. Actually, 10 is fine. Move that over one. And then a little more. And you a little more. That's in the way, actually, of further inputs. Do I even need any more? I need 1, 2, 3? It's only 3, right? It's the Red Hot Coke, the Vrauk food, and the Vrauk. Gasoline. I need gasoline too, so that's 4. Oof. Doofy. Alright. 4. I need the fluid. On gasoline, and then I need 4 more. So yeah, that are 3 additional solids. Which, yeah, you can see that's a problem. There's a slight problem here. So honey cannot be there. It can be here though, so that's fine. And then these belts, this one in particular cannot be here. I can sort of get away with that one. Bring in that gasoline. When I have any. When I have gasoline, please bring me some. There we go. Gaso-weenies. Oh. I didn't do that either. Yeah, noisies. You hear noisies? He's watching. Watching. He's looking. He's looking. Oh boy. I knew that this would take the entire freaking stream. I knew it. I knew it was gonna happen. I knew with 100% certainty that that was exactly what was gonna happen. Why the hell does this use barrels and not the ports for fluids? Yo, not Melon, if you're still here. Reproductive complexes have fluid ports on the front, and yet recipes for non-aquatic creatures still use barrels for whatever reason. Like, come on! Come on! I made this too high, didn't I? Maybe. One, two, three belts of stuffs. Queen. This was another thing I discussed last time. It was like, really? On the, on the fluid situation? Like, really? Oh, and this is like way to the side. Whatever. We'll do that. La-di-da. Di-da-di-doo-doo-da. I'll do Queen plus ARQAD and Relesia plus Red Hot Coke. Because it looks like Relesia plus Red Hot Coke is totally a thing. That, is consistent down the rest of the belt line. So because of that, Red Hot Coke. The reddest of hottest of hottest. There you are. I think it's stacked. All right. Okay, going down. And then, yeah, this will be from below. You get to output eggs and barrels. Split barrels to the left. Joy. Bliss. Things. That's that. Next, we need Vrauk paddocks. And that needs honeycombs plus caged Vrauk. Okay, honeycombs. Honeycombs excess. Come on down. Okay. The things what you output. I need more voiding. I will need more voiding. Opposite way. Excuse me, maggot. Whatever. All my alignment is off, but whatever. It's fine. It shall be okay. And this will need, like, some amount of ARQADS at some point. But this, I happen to have. Eggs. This is where the eggs go that we got from the from scratch production. So right in there. Throw in those hundreds and hundreds of eggs that we get from the from scratch production. Those will go ahead and they will make larvae. I need to combine this because that will be Vrauk. Vrauk. Vrauk, Vrauk. I need to assign Vrauk. Whoa, there, hold on. There we go. That will bring Vrauk, and it actually has the thing. The last one is the Vrauk food. So I will go ahead and request that now, while I'm at it, while I'm here. I think it's time for another radar, because yeah, it's a little tall. It's a bit of a tall build here. Okay, well that's the maggot step, so that's maggots. I will need to still get rid of the used combs, but I'm going to combine the used combs out of the next steps here. The next step, though, is 5 of these apiaries that'll take in Vrauk as Vrauk. I will need another thingy. I'll need you. With honey, I'll bring the honey down. Bring on down the honey! Honey, honey, bring it on down. Split the Vrauk. Bring down the food. That will do. So Vrauk plus food, empty combs, barrels, and maggots. So that's 1, 2, 3 belts. Ta-da. Maggots plus the empty combs. This is the spot, one soul spot from the empty combs, so I just gotta figure out bringing those down from here. There we go. And that is those. Ay. Output. Split. Barrel. To the right. Do it there. Move down. That'll give me nests. ARQAD nests. Okay. Okay. That's just one building. There will be 2 buildings. Or there will be 5 ultimately, but 1 for now. So that I know that I have enough ARQADs for the system to move. The question is, do I have 20 more ARQADs? I don't remember where they are on my list. I don't remember where they are on my list. Here, I have 60. Okay. Good to know. I will start... the barrels. The barrels. They kill me. The barrels are killing me, man. They're killing me. We have another honey plus a natural gas. Most natural of natural gas. Which, hey, we actually have natural gas. It's happening. It's here. We has it. Why do we not have honey? Because it's slow. That's why we don't have honey, because it's slow. Barrels. Queen. Starting with queen. Just needs nest plus the barrels. Why do I do this searching when I could just do this again? Alright, that's extra queens. It is a 1% chance for your extra queen. But it's still extra queens. And used comb, so I have to do that. Also, I have to, like, search for the queen. The queenie queen. And, that's sort of where it has to stop for the moment, because I don't have queens. for the eggs production for this. This guy needs 2 queens to start the process, or needs at least 1 queen. Excuse me, it needs a queen to move. And so of the initial ARQAD nests from the initial maggots. Oh yeah, I need to throw in cages. 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 Hello, cages. I should have some cages. There's some cages. Go. Enjoy! Enjoy your cages. You will now produce maggots. And the queens will be queens. With a 1% chance of queens being queens. Not even enough honey for a single barrel. Wonderful. We will need 5 barrels. Great. This will take a while. In case you hadn't noticed or were not aware, this is a process that is going to take a bit of time. Tar, please. Oh god, Tar. You're gonna have to go, like, there and then down. There we go. Stuff! Things! Glorious. Those are done. That's done. That doesn't need to be looked at anymore. And nor does that. Okay, now we have our final set of apiaries. It just took us all the way to the bottom of the of our area here, because, you know, I need another natural gas production doohickey up here, because of course I do. Because of course I do. We need more natural gas. Which, of course, means we need more of our good friend, the barrel. One, 2, 3, full belts, full belts. Well, that's about there. That's about there. So it looks like the nests will merge. The nests shall merge! One, a 2, a 3. And then all the way back here, we run this belt. You know, game. I dislike you sometimes. And that is that. I need more nanobot ammo, as it turns out. I'm on my last 92 units Oh boy. But we're not done yet. Oh, we are not done yet. So this is gonna also make freaking empty thingies. Used combs. So come on down, used combs. Then I need to delete them with deletion. With a thingy that will exist somehow somewhere. And I have to find... I have to get the belt, this belt. I have to get the queens. Plus the ARQADS going up there. And that nest that just came in really should be used for attempts at queens. Yeah. So. Let me put down void. Void need fuel. Solid fuel. Okay, I've got solid fuel. I'm basically out of loaders as well. Oh boy. Oh joy, oh bliss. So are we done? Outside of putting excess stuff on trains, I think we're done. Oh my god. I just need a queen to succeed at a 1% chance, and at that point we're done. So all of the remaining modules need to go into honey to speed the process up. Into the honey apiaries. Oh look, I had just enough to not have any for this one. Great. Yeah. Welcome, Ave, to the end of the stream. Oh, goodness. Oh, this sucks, this build. Oh, I hate this build. I hate this build so much. Oh my goodness. And I think that's the intent. And I think that's the intent. You know, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. ARQADS are the most complex of the entire Pi suite of the alien life. ARQADS of Pi alien life. This is the most complex alien life creature to make. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this beats everything else. Especially if you compare it to the point of the game in which you need it. This one wins. It is the most complex. As you could see, it's doable. It's just massive build. It's really long build. Even with low throughput. It's big build. Big build. Big build. And I need to add more to it than this. This isn't even all the buildings for this build. This is partial buildings for this build. Just trying to think, you know, if I'm going to need like more, if I'm going to need actually 0.29 or 0.28 as the output, well, that's more natural gas now, isn't it? That's quite a bit more actually natural gas. So if you're saying I have to double this build, that doubles the small parts that I need, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that does mean that. Well, anyway, that is the end of the stream for the day, folks. We are producing ARQADS ever so slowly. I need to restock my stuff and let this game run and let time pass. I definitely have time considering it's patch day for Genshin Impact. I will have time going into the rest of the day today, though not much tomorrow. A lot of this, though, is just waiting for the game to, you know, run. Just let it run and do its thing. When we meet on Thursday, what is the goal? I have a list of things to do going forward. I want to do Yadles, Zipier, but the problem with Zipier is that Zipier is going to need artificial blood, so this gets pushed after artificial blood, because in order to make Zipier, we need artificial blood. In order to make artificial blood, I'm going to need things. I'm going to need things. I'm going to need rare earth, and I'm going to need cobalt. And in order to make the Zipier, I'm also going to need fetal serum. I think I need this for Zipier. Yes, I need it for Zipier, I need it for Ziffo, and I need it for Corlex. I will also need to have another thing for the Corlex milk. Oh, boy. So yeah, Yadles, cobalt extract. That's a lot of urea for the cobalt extract at this moment in time, but sure, we'll go with it. And then rare earth, gotta do rare earth. That's on the agenda, is to get into rare earth processing. By the way, don't think I didn't notice, but Python has removed the vanilla sulfuric acid recipe from the game. Yeah. It's gone. It's gone. So you have to get your sulfuric acid through one of the PyAEs and not use the vanilla recipe anymore, because that's how I made my sulfuric acid in my last Pi playthrough, was the vanilla recipe. Ah, boy. So yeah, with that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been a Talkie Show, but if you've enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and hit the notification bell. Consider becoming a member of the channel by hitting the great big blue join button and supporting on Patreon at patreon.com/talkieshow. But if you're so inclined and able, I will be back with more on Thursday. I hope to see you all then.